Hey, good morning. I'm Patricia Murphy. It's Wednesday. This is Seattle Now. This week, it's almost Thanksgiving. We're talking about the important stuff, like why more people are moving away from turkey, which grocery store chain has the best pumpkin pie, and what on earth is the bird test. Author and blogger Geraldine DeRuiter and Cascade PBS host Rachel Belle are here to break down the holiday. Let's get right to the show. It's Wednesday again. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Well, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, so we brought back our favorite pairing of guests to talk turkey. Geraldine DeRuiter's here. She's the everywhereist and author and blogger. Hey, Geraldine.
Hi, thanks for letting me back in the building.
Nice to see you. Rachel Belle is here, too. She's the host of the Your Last Meal podcast and the Nosh on Cascade PBS. Rachel, good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, you two, on to the big story of the week. We are talking turkey, specifically how much of it people are eating. According to a 2025 report, turkey consumption per person has fallen steadily since 2019. As food becomes more expensive, some are rethinking turkey as the main Thanksgiving dish. All right, this is a tough one. Is turkey non-negotiable? Is it a must-have?
Well, as I said at a recent KUOW event that I did with Ton Vin and Kenji Lopez-Alt, my favorite way to prepare turkey is ham. I am not married to the turkey. I don't think that it is bad. I just don't crave it. And I think most people like the sides best. So like the big chunk of meat, even if there was no big chunk of meat and there was just more sides, I would be okay with that.
All right. What about you, Geraldine?
I think Rachel is spot on that the sides are the centerpiece. I do think that you need turkey exactly once a year. Like that is the correct amount of time to have turkey.
All right.
It is like watching Die Hard. It is like singing karaoke. It is like jogging. Any more than once a year and you realize that it's not great.
Okay.
Although the one thing that you do get from turkey that you don't get from a ham or from sides is the gravy. If you want the homemade gravy, I guess you need something to release the gravy. Which is the name of my new movie.
It's beautiful.
Coming soon.
What genre is it, Rachel?
What do you think? It's poultry action.
But you can buy turkey parts to just make the gravy.
Oh, you can buy the bones and the
you can cheat.
Giblets and
But
giblets.
at that point, you might as well make a turkey once a year.
I think I was more tempted than ever to punt turkey this year. We can talk a little bit more about why that is later, but let's just puzzle this out before we move on. If you do replace it, you said ham, Rachel, but should there be poultry on the table if you're going to replace it? Should it be chicken?
I have done a roast chicken
Cornish
when it was
hen?
just a very small group. Like I did Thanksgiving once with 3 people and we just did a chicken. I think it depends on how often you make a roast chicken. Here's the thing. Everybody has their different ideas. To me, when it is a holiday that it's once a year, I want mostly traditional things because you're going for nostalgia. But if you don't have that nostalgia, you can kind of make whatever you want.
I think as long as you prepare your guests, and I feel like Rachel and I have talked about this before. If you invite people over and then you're like, hey, come over for Thanksgiving, and you present something completely different that you're like, we're having lamb. It's like, I love lamb, but you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
And this was my one day a year to have turkey.
That's really important.
I agree.
Manage
I think that full
expectations.
disclosure
Yep.
is important. If you're, inviting people, that's a harvest spread in their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about a Northwest staple like salmon? I kind of like that idea.
I've always wanted to be in a crab family. People who do crab on Christmas or Thanksgiving. I always thought that was so cool and just so good.
Yeah.
I would love that. But I don't know if crab goes with the stuffing and the green beans and all of that.
I think you could pull off. I think salmon probably goes less with a stuffing situation in my mind. Like, I love the idea of crab and stuffing.
I guess you could do a different kind of stuffing. You could do like the oyster stuffing or some kind of like crab stuffing with Old Bay with the bread.
I think if you're going to do seafood, this might be very controversial. I think you need more than one main. I think you could do crab and salmon together. I think you could do chicken and salmon. I think you could do something like that. And then people are going to be confused, but it's like, oh, really? Are you mad because I made you too many dishes?
Right.
I'm sorry for the bounty that I have provided you.
All right. Well, people are gathering in smaller numbers, which could also be behind some of this declining turkey rate. According to a 2024 survey, nearly 20% of Americans planned to celebrate Thanksgiving with 5 or fewer people. I have a theory that the larger group at Thanksgiving means less choice. I think if you have a smaller group, you have permission to just say we're not doing it. Because if you have a whole bunch of people, grandma demands the turkey. You know, your aunt has to have the turkey. You can't show up with,
Oh, no, I think the more people who are involved in making a decision, the worse that decision is.
Could you skip the bird and the main and just do all sides? A side extravaganza.
I would like that. And I've had some ideas of sides that could be added. Once you have all of the ones that are important to you and that represent Thanksgiving and nostalgia, there is an extreme lack of texture and brightness. Ooh. The only thing that you have that kind of breaks up all of the monotony of the beige buffet is the cranberry sauce, which not everybody loves, and that's tangy. So I think adding in some kind of salad that has all those really nice chicories that are in season this time of year. I love the pink ones, and having maybe persimmons cut up in it, or a crunchy pear and goat cheese, and I don't know, throw a nut in there, whatever. But that's not replacing anything.
Sure.
That would be in addition to.
Throw a nut in there. The Rachel Belle story. So I do a salad every year for Thanksgiving.
You do?
I mean, not just a salad. I'm not a LA supermodel, but I incorporate a salad into the spread every year. I think it's kind of a traditional side dish. I will say, if you're doing all sides, I need protein in there. So one of the sides needs to be chicken wings. Oh, that's crazy, but it does, right?
A log cabin made of hot dogs,
Exactly.
perhaps.
Thank you. Because you know what? It's classic. It's elegant. It brings forth our nation's forefathers.
A cornucopia made of ground meat.
That's beautiful. And every family has a recipe for that. So,
well, you could put meat in the stuffing. I have a stuffing recipe that. It's me. I have a recipe that I like that has smoked turkey sausage in it for stuffing. But I think sometimes, for example, if you're having a vegetarian Thanksgiving, there might be squash that's stuffed with wild rice and something like that. That just ends up feeling like a side to me. It doesn't really feel like a main. But where would you add protein to sides?
Wow, this is just going to lead to the turducken conversation.
I'm here for that conversation.
Right. But we need to put that aside for a second.
Did I talk about my idea for a balzanza last year?
Oh, no. Wait. What is the word you just said?
Balzanza.
Does this take place in your film?
Yes. Let me give you a sneak peek, though. I had this idea that anything could work with the turducken concept.
Sure.
And this would be a big meatball that's baked into a slice of lasagna and wrapped in an entire pizza. Balzanza.
Which does remind me, one year my aunt did make lasagna for Thanksgiving. It was not well received.
So that is the expectation conversation.
Right.
Yes.
It sounds like.
Yeah. So it does need to be discussed beforehand.
Yeah. As we discussed at the top there, things are getting more expensive. Are either of you cutting anything out from your Thanksgiving dinner due to cost, changing traditions, asking people to bring food?
I'm going to a Thanksgiving where everybody is contributing already. So, everybody's bringing a couple of things.
I'm no longer sprinkling beluga caviar. No, you know what? I think we here are all lucky enough to not be feeling the squeeze. And on a serious note, donate to your local food banks if you're listening to this, right? A bunch of people are going to be losing benefits, and you're going to feel that a lot during the holidays. So if you have a local food bank.
Yep. Very important time to contribute to the food banks who are extremely stressed around this time of year. All right, another staple, of course, pumpkin pie. You have a lot of options if you want to buy one. The Stranger put its staff to work last week trying all of our local chain choices on the list. Whole Foods, Safeway, QFC, PCC, Fred Meyer, Costco, Metropolitan Market, and Town & Country. PCC's clocked in as one of the most expensive pies at $20. But it got fairly positive reviews if you can count Mom Made It from canned pumpkin and frozen crust recipe as a compliment. I think the ever-reliable Costco pumpkin pie is my choice. It is the most economical, coming in at $5.99, recession-proof, $5.99. Also, a lot of pumpkin.
It is the size of a manhole cover.
It really is.
It comes out to 2 cents a slice. Like, it is absolutely massive. It is brought out by 4 small children dressed as Oompa Loompas.
Honestly.
It is honestly just an amazing treat.
It's a lot of pie. It's a lot of pie.
It's kind of just the gold standard, you know? It's good. If you like pumpkin pie, it's creamy. I feel like it's a nice pumpkin pie.
It's solid. And I also have a hot take about pumpkin pie, and I get myself in trouble every year. You don't need to make pumpkin pie from scratch. And you don't, because here's the thing. You can make pumpkin pie from scratch. You can buy a high quality one. You can buy a low quality one. You can drop the low quality one on the floor and you can eat it off the floor. And all of those pumpkin pies are going to taste exactly the same. And it is going to come out to a 6.5. And if someone tries to argue with you, they will be wrong, because all pumpkin pie peaks out at 6.5. It's fine.
Whipped cream?
Have to have the whipped cream.
Sure. And you know what? It will not elevate the pie to above a 6.5.
I disagree with that. I disagree. As somebody who has a personal relationship with the squirt bottle of whipped cream, it brings it up to an 8.
Rachel.
Is it worth making a fancy pumpkin pie from scratch? You see variations in the New York Times with, toppings. No.
You're lying to yourself.
I think the effort to what you end up getting is not worth it, because the work, if you're talking about starting with a whole pumpkin or a squash or something, that is such a pain. Like, have you ever tried to cut one? Just cutting it. It's so hard. Scooping it, roasting it. And honestly, I don't think they look as cute when someone brings one and they're really dark colors.
Or it's weirdly pale.
Yeah.
Oh, I've met several people who've done it, and every single person has said it was not worth it.
Yeah.
And they have a haunted look about them.
Well, and I mean, the canned pumpkin is just squash. It's not necessarily pumpkin.
Exactly. I learned that a couple years ago. I was so surprised by that. Yeah, it's like a mix of different like butternut squash.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, everything
you heard
is
it here first.
The veil has been lifted.
Everything is a lie.
Especially pumpkin pie.
Oh.
I make a little rhyme.
All right, well, let's talk about Friendsgiving. Chosen family is very important. And if you live far from the people you love, it's even more important. Who is your preferred crowd for the holiday? Maybe your family won't hear this, so you can say anything you want. Would you rather eat with friends or family?
Without answering that, I will give this example. I haven't eaten Thanksgiving with my family in 15 years.
Wow.
So, but I don't know why. Just haven't.
It just occurred.
Just haven't.
Whoops.
They live in Seattle?
Nope, they don't. I also just really don't like traveling when everybody else is traveling, So I'll go home for Hanukkah because it's usually at an off time. But yeah, I've done it a lot with other people's families, especially when I'm in a relationship. And then I've done it with friends. I've done some years where you do both. You end up having 2 Thanksgivings, one friend, one family. The thing that I like about it is it usually takes a lot of the work away because it's usually a potluck. And then you kind of get to see everybody's tradition.
And you find out why your friends are the broken people that they are.
All the misfits gathering.
Yeah. Do you trust your friends to cook for you? Because this will test a friendship,
Geraldine and I are in friendships that are based on eating and food. Like most of our friends are good cooks and just really into food, work in food.
Yeah.
And I will say, if someone is not,
no thanks.
We talk about it.
Okay.
We do. Like, did you see what so-and-so did? Do you see what they brought? And then that person is designated to, you get to bring butter.
Right.
You're in
message
charge.
gets
What about
delivered.
ice?
You're in charge of cups. So, I will say, so we did Friendsgiving a couple of years, and it was so stress-free and lovely that it didn't feel like the holidays.
I love that. I love that.
So something was kind of missing. So this year we're going to get on a plane and travel, and it's going to be
Let me make one of my
stressful.
patented rhymes. get on a plane so you can feel some pain.
Oh my gosh, right. Well, like you, I hate to travel when everybody's traveling, so I tend to stay local for Thanksgiving. I do love my family, though. Let's show some love to the places that are open on Thanksgiving, either to help you avoid cooking or save you from a last-minute disaster. Cafe Flora in Madison Valley is serving an all-vegetable Thanksgiving menu. Greek-inspired restaurant Lola in Belltown is doing a prefix menu inspired by Thanksgiving. How good does a wine-poached fig as an appetizer sound? Actually sounds good. Ethan Stoll Restaurants is doing a $275 take-home cooking kit. Oof. Take-home cooking for $275. I just go to the store and buy it.
Well, you guys must have read the articles that have come out recently about how we are the most expensive restaurant city in the country for fast food, and then the second most expensive city in the country for restaurants, just barely below San Francisco. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
by that.
$275 if you're going to go to Ethan Stoll, and plenty of hotel restaurants and hospital food courts have to be open and serving Thanksgiving meals as well. There's also any number of Asian food options around the city that aren't celebrating Thanksgiving. If you'd rather have barbecued pork, which is always fun.
That's Jewish Christmas. I wait until December.
Been there for that one. Yep.
We do that for Christmas Eve, especially if it aligns with Hanukkah. That's like my favorite thing. We bring our little travel menorah.
Is it?
I've done that too.
It's fun.
I bring mine too. And I've always been surprised that they let me light it. I call ahead just to make sure. Yes.
Like usually we'll find that we're not the only table doing it, which I think is really
I love
special.
it.
Is it worth it to pay for a Thanksgiving dinner to avoid the hassle of cooking and cleaning?
I like cooking and I like doing Thanksgiving at home and having that cozy feeling. Not my home, but anybody's home. But I think if you're someone who doesn't like to cook, or if you're someone super busy and it's going to stress you out, like it's a holiday, you know?
Yeah.
If that works for you, you should do it. And I've had one of those meals from like a higher end grocery store and it was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done it, but I do think this comes down to who is the labor falling to.
Yes.
Ooh,
Like
sure.
I feel really fortunate that, you know, when we do host Thanksgiving, my husband does so much of the cooking in our household on a regular basis. He probably does 80% of the cooking. He does most of the cleaning in the kitchen. Like that is his domain. I love it.
What do you do?
I am adorable. And I have clever bon mots. Don't ruin this for me. I got a good thing going.
Is that why you've been doing jazz hands for the last half an hour?
Oh,
It is great that there are options for people who either can't or, you know, need to get out and grab things on the holiday. But have you noticed that there are more and more things open? I remember the days where you used to have to drive around looking for someplace open to buy your pack of smokes. These days, no problem. No problem. Everything's open practically.
yeah, and I find it kind of, I don't know, I find it kind of distressing. Like
I do too.
Like, because those people have to work. And
Yeah.
a lot of times I don't think they're getting extra pay. It's just a regular day for them. And we, like, as consumers, we've created this system, right?
demand,
like we
of course.
created the demand, and so they're open. And so, like, I sincerely try not to go out on Christmas Eve. I try not to go out on Thanksgiving, and I try not to shop on Black Friday because of that. I realize it's not probably making a dent, but it makes me feel slightly better about being a consumer in this society.
What about the day after Thanksgiving? What do you do with that weird space between Thanksgiving and either Hanukkah or Christmas?
You lay.
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of become some sort of like mush person on the floor.
Horizontal or bust.
Yeah, and soft pants, and then hopefully someone will come and use a stick to turn you over so you don't get sores.
We are already seeing TV commercials for Christmas. The ching, 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 ching.
Oh.
You know, it's out there already.
I just got back from Japan. Hi, fancy life, love it. And they don't, like, other countries don't have Thanksgiving, obviously. I mean, Canada does, but come on. We're going to get letters. Please address them to Vaughn. But other countries don't have Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is such a buffer, I realize, from having Christmas decorations in September. It protects us.
Yes.
That is the only thing we have. It is holding up the dam.
People have their trees up already.
I have seen this already. Me too.
Won't it just be dust?
What does this say about it that we're starting so early? Again, I go back to kind of the gratefulness thing. It's the landscape.
I think people want more joy in their life and in their home. And this started in the pandemic, I think, when people were just bored at home and they had nothing to live for. So it's like, why not just get the tree early? And I'm seeing when people announce on social media that they're putting their tree up, that's why. They just want to extend the holiday. And who am I to take that from them?
Honestly. And I am guessing that those trees, they have to be the fake kind because, the real ones would just curl up and...
Yeah, it's got
tinderbox. Yeah, tinderbox,
that's
baby.
A fire hazard.
It is.
I've never had a Christmas tree in my life.
Wait, really? Okay, so we have a friend who hasn't had it either. Like he's never had a Christmas tree. My husband had it. So my husband is Jewish, and he had it sometimes, but not consistently. And now he gets very excited about the concept of a tree. And my brother-in-law does this like shtick where he's like, "You bring the tree inside? That's crazy."
All right, one last thing before we go. We're going to talk about a recent social media trend, the bird test. The link here is tenuous, but who cares? Because we want to hear you both talk about this. Bird test, Thanksgiving turkey bird, whatever. We're here. The bird test is when one partner mentions a seemingly insignificant occurrence, seeing a bird, to their significant other in the hopes that they'll express interest and maybe ask a follow-up question or two. But if the partner seems uninterested, that response is said to be a warning signal that their relationship might need some work. Does this make sense to you? Have you tried something like this?
Next month, I will have been with my partner for 24 years. And I will say that definitely the key to our relationship is surreptitiously testing one another with trials that we have found on TikTok. I think honestly, I think it's ridiculous. And it's also like not based in any science at all, right? Like what the Gottman study says is they looked at couples that had divorced and then they retroactively looked at them and they were like, what are some signs? And they found that couples that were more successful turned into one another, like they tuned in when one said something. So if you go, like if I randomly went up to my husband and was like, peel me an orange, I think,
which is another test. If they don't peel you the orange, they don't love you.
Right. So there's people who did this, and someone on Reddit was like, yeah, my girlfriend asked me for an orange and I brought it to her and she broke up with me because it wasn't peeled. And everyone was like, she didn't even do the test right. She just doesn't like you.
Oh, my God. Well, all right. And you're referring to Gottman, which is the famed couples therapist, John Gottman, who argues that this test is actually important because we often think of the big conversations we have with a partner, but not the small stuff. Like
I think that you know already. Like, you don't have to do the bird test. You know that when you engage your partner in conversation and they just don't seem interested, I think the people who are posting these are freaking bragging. That's what it is. Because the only ones that get posted are these insanely engaged husbands who just want to know so much about that bird.
And also, I have to say, like stop testing your spouse and filming them. Like that is not a good sign for a relationship. I don't know. Like there are times when there's so much more context to this.
Totally.
Like there's times when someone's busy, when they're tired, when like they're exhausted. And yeah, I'm absolutely certain my husband would peel an orange for me because like the man helped me take a shower after I had brain surgery. So like an orange
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been through the fire with me. Like an orange is not a big deal. But I don't know. I think it's just this performative, ridiculous TikTok stuff that no, just stop, kids, stop. It's, you know what it is, you guys? It's chuggy.
All right, well, we got to bring it back to Thanksgiving somehow. So what should the proper division of labor be to procure a Thanksgiving turkey, speaking of birds? Someone goes and gets it and someone cooks it, or split the prep?
I think people should do what they're good at as long as there is some splitting of the labor. You know, this idea of like splitting up chores and cooking. If just like you were saying, Geraldine, like your husband loves cooking, maybe he does all of that. Or in your house also does all the cleaning. And some people are better at being adorable. But
oh no, he's good at being adorable too.
Oh no. But personally, like, I actually really like grocery shopping. Like, if I had the time and I was a lady of leisure, I would go up and down every aisle in the grocery store every time I went and like looked at all the new products and stuff. And I'm a little controlling in the kitchen, so I'd probably want to cook it too. It depends who I'm dealing with. Like, if I'm working with someone who is also a capable cook and I trust them, then I would divvy it up. I think, yeah, it just depends. But I don't mind doing all that. Like, maybe they can set the table or something.
I would
Maybe
say,
you're just in charge of ice.
Yes.
I would say play to your strengths. Like, I'm great at side dishes. I'm wonderful at desserts. I will not make a pumpkin pie because that's a pointless endeavor. But women do most of the cooking worldwide. That's a trend that happens worldwide. And they do most of the grocery shopping.
Yep.
And that holds true, you know, across the planet. And when the holidays roll around, that labor just increases. So, you know, I would say, like, we need to figure that out and create balance. And I'm single-handedly doing that in my house, but
you're holding so much.
I'm really, you know what? It's just a gift to everyone. That is my gift this year to everyone.
I think the time when I want the most help, just thinking of, I host a lot other things around the year, is I want people to help clean up at the end.
Yes. That's when I'm drunk and I've
tired.
lost steam.
Yeah, like you've been drinking, you're tired, you're full, and then everyone's like, bye, and they leave, and you're like, oh my God, no, and it's such a mess. Like, I have energy at the beginning, but those are like the real people who really love you, who help. A shout out to one of my very best friends who he stays and helps me do the dishes after every single event. I think that's when you got to do it, because also when you have a bunch of people helping, it gets done so fast, and then everyone can be horizontal the next day and not picking up bottles of booze from around the house.
The real ones help clean up.
They are there after the music stops.
All right. We are going to leave it there. Geraldine DeRuiter is an author and blogger. Rachel Belle hosts Your Last Meal and The Nosh for Cascade PBS. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Thanks, Geraldine. Appreciate you listening to Seattle Now, and thanks to our generous donors for your support. Help us out by clicking the link in the show notes and following and rating the show on your podcast app. Today's episode was produced by Vaughn Jones. It was edited by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez. Our production team also includes Andy Hurst, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon. Have a great holiday.